Hey everybody, I'm Asian Funk. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm joined by Brett Martin, all the way from Colorado. He is the Guinness Book World Records holder for having the largest, obviously, video game memorabilia collection. Brett, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So why video game memorabilia? When did that start?
Why not? It's awesome.
Oh, great answer.
Actually, I started collecting probably in the 90s when I had disposable income because I had a job. But I had some stuff before that that my parents had gotten me. And truthfully, what really set it off is trying to collect the entire set of the few things that I had from my parents. Because I just went on eBay. It was the fledgling days of eBay. I'm like, well, what else is in this set? And through finding those items in the sets, then I found other sets, and I had to complete those sets, and it really snowballs pretty quickly until you have a whole room.
Yeah, and we'll definitely take a look at that in a second. Uh, I saw an interview of you where you were talking about a little Mario figure. Can you explain the significance of that?
Yeah, that's the one that I typically pull out. It's the first one that I think I got. It's the little Plaus figure of Mario holding a mushroom. 1989 is when that came out, and I think they were just loose figures. Some of them had card backs, some of them didn't. I don't think that one did. I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty much the first one. I had another one in the set that was Luigi running. And I'm like, there's got to be other ones of these. So I had a Mario and I had a Luigi. And then I found one with a turnip because it was the Mario Madness era. So it was like
Uh-huh.
right after Super Mario Brothers and right as Super Mario Brothers 2 was coming out.
Right.
So you'd see a lot of references to that. So there's like Mario on a vine and Mario holding a turnip.
Yeah.
And but there was also like Mario running over a Koopa Troopa. And so it was a weird set, but it was the early days when they just started merchandising. In Japan, a lot of the stuff was coming out in 1986. That was Super Mario Brothers 2, so it had gained popularity, and then a year later they came out with the sequel, the Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2, and that's when all the Japanese stuff started, the merchandise. But in 1989 and 88, I think really late 88, 89, that's when the big merchandising started happening here in North America.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. So like when you well, actually, let's back up. So in 2013, so in 2013 you were recorded having 8,030 video game items. How many items do you have now?
Well, that's the weird part about that number, because normally when you submit a collection to Guinness,
Hmm.
you have to have like a spreadsheet of everything that you have, really detailed, verified by people, blah, blah, blah. Well, Guinness was looking to promote their Gamers Edition Guinness book, and that's the one I was in. I'm also in the actual Guinness book,
Hmm.
but I was in the Guinness Gamers Edition first, and they were looking to promote. So they came to me, and they had a couple people. There were three people that were from, I think, two people from Guinness, and one was a photographer contracted from Guinness. And what they did was they looked into the collection room as it stood in my old house, and all of them had the little Guinness clicker, and I have it over there somewhere. But yeah, they have a Guinness clicker, and every time they saw a new item, they clicked, right? And after they left, I looked at a single shelf, and I tried to do that myself, and I came up with three different numbers. So it was a
Huh.
visual count, and I asked them after the count, if you saw a box of 10 figures, did you count that as one item because it's in the box, or did you count that as 10 figures? And one said one and one said 10. So it's
Uh,
like it wasn't an accurate count at the time. I didn't have an accurate count. I still don't. I assume that I had more when they counted than they came up with. So as it stands right now, I might be like 15,000, 18,000, somewhere around there, because I figured I had more back then.
yeah. So I mean, so this 15,000 number, is that that's a number you came up with?
Yeah, that's
Um,
just an estimate.
wow, that's incredible. So when you buy these items, how do you decide what is something that you are gonna acquire? Because I'm assuming now there's just tons of like Nintendo and Mario merchandising. How do you decide that that's the thing you're going to add to your collection?
Well, I finally kind of hit a wall. I'm running out of space, and for a
Uh-huh.
long time, I could just expand, and now like this is the final room it's going to be in. So I'm running out of space. So I kind of have to pick and choose now what I want in. So that's been difficult for me. But normally I just kind of want it all. Like before, I could just go, I'll find room for that. That's awesome. So like the recent Lego stuff that just announced,
Yeah.
of course I want all that. I mean
Of
that looks.
course, of course.
I don't have any room for it, but I want it. So maybe
So
I'll buy it and build it and throw it somewhere, but I don't know. So
yeah.
I have to like a lot of the. I'm skipping some Japanese stuff now. That's more like the tabletop games because they take up a lot of space. They're not as exciting. Um,
Mm,
so like a lot of that stuff I might start selling because it's like I could get room for stuff that I do want.
gotcha. So you're saying like now that you're a little more picky, or at least your tastes are a little more specific, right?
Right.
What are some of the rarest items in your collection? Things that like most people can't even find.
My go-to answer for that is my prototype figures that I bought off eBay ages ago. So in the year 2000, there was a toy fair in New York where a company called Toy Sight showed off a bunch of figures that they were going to produce. And apparently no one picked up the line or didn't get enough excitement to warrant making the line at the toy fair. I'm not sure what the story is there. And they're a branch of BD&A. And if you're familiar with merchandise and all, BD&A is huge. BD&A is still around. They focus more on gaming accessories now, like the pouches and console pouches and covers and cases and stuff like that. But they still have, I mean, they're a huge merchandising arm, so they come out with all kinds of stuff. They're actually responsible for a lot of the early plushes that were
Mm,
available in the 90s.
hmm.
And since those were super popular, and you could find those in like the Super Power Supplies catalog from Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
So all those plushes that were in there, those were BD&A plushes. Towards the end of that life cycle, they started to become Toy Sight plushes because they wanted to develop a branch for just the toys that they were making and selling.
Hmm.
And I think Toy Sight was going to be that, and it just didn't take off for some reason. So whatever happened, the people that created the sculpts, the prototypes for the figures they were going to mass produce, somehow those ended up on eBay, and now they're with me. So I have like Metal Mario, I have Star Fox,
That's
or
cool.
Fox McCloud from like Star Fox 64.
Yeah,
He has
yeah,
a very
yeah.
frontal look. I'm sure you've seen it, and a lot of the Donkey Kong 64 prototype stuff. But I also have like the Super Mario RPG plushes that people talk about a lot. Mario Party 5 set of plushes. I've got the Yoshi Safari plush set, which is really rare. I'm just kind of looking at
Yeah, I like how you're looking up. So that gives us an
the
idea of like how much stuff you actually have.
the Star Fox plushes. Those are always great. I mean, there's a lot of just really hard to find stuff in here. So
I'm sure. Um, yeah, that's awesome.
I always say like I got really lucky and when I started collecting because if I tried to collect this stuff now, I'd be so in debt. I mean, this stuff has skyrocketed in price. It's ridiculous.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm just I don't know how anyone would ever start a collection like that now, considering just how
Right.
collecting is like a thing now. Um, so I spoke to Kevin Silva the other day. He has like the largest Batman collection.
Nice.
He recently sold his collection to a museum.
Ooh.
Would you ever consider selling your collection at some point, or is that just going to be with you forever?
I think that'd be great. I've always wanted to share my collection more with people because it's such a personal thing, but yet I love reactions of people that look at it. So I do the YouTube thing, trying to get more exposure and have people see some of these rare items. I mean, it's show and tell. Let's be serious. It's just show and tell.
Hmm.
But it's really fun to show off what I have and just I try to convey the passion that I have for it. So selling it all to a museum, I don't know how you would get into a situation like that. It'd be pretty sweet to have the museum buy it, but yeah, I think that'd be a great way to just like say goodbye to it all because selling it all at this point would be really difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
and I just have such a love for it. It'd be hard to let go, but at the same end, I'd know that, other people would be seeing it, so it'd be great. Because I've thought about like, can I get a gallery or something in town, or can I get
Yeah.
like, can I set up a store? But I don't think that business is very viable, and that frankly, the security scares the crap out of me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So like, I'd be constantly sitting there, don't touch that, don't touch that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure like a museum they would understand how to take care of your stuff and, make
Yeah,
sure it stays in good condition. So that makes sense. You want to like pass it on to someone who knows how to take care of stuff.
because
Um,
I've seen like the Video Game History Museum does shows like E3. I
yeah,
went to go see their E3 booth several times, and they haul it all out and they have it in glass cabinets and everything, and it's a hell of a thing to see. But like all this stuff, traveling with it would make me so nervous because a lot of it's so fragile.
right.
Like the consoles and stuff, they're pretty good, but like the taking like a statue off the shelf and trying to get it somewhere, I don't know. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
rough.
I hear you on that. What is like, so if you were to sell it to a museum, what would be one thing in your collection that you would not give up?
Oh, that's hard. That's a good question because I haven't thought a whole lot about it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Like everything that's super rare is in this little cabinet here, the World of Nintendo cabinet. And like the easy answer is just say all that. I just keep one cabinet and be like, pick and choose off the shelves what I'd keep. But uh, when I actually had the Aurora History Museum near me, somehow get a hold of my information, and they wanted to come and do a partial exhibit. So they had me uh, take a random selection of items from my collection and just have it in their museum for a short time. And I guess it was like the biggest thing that museum had done at that time
Mm-hmm.
because they had a lot of kids come in and see the stuff. So, and when I was doing that, I was like, well, if you have this, you have to have this, and if you have that, you have to have that. So, having like all the completed sets and everything is a big deal. So I don't know. It'd be hard for me to actually keep something with it because it's like then it would be not complete on the other side.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, right. And that's like the completest in you, right?
Right. Yeah. The completionist is strong in this one.
Yeah, I can see it. What was I gonna say? I had a really good question and I got distracted by all your stuff. Oh yeah, so what is something what's something you're after right now? Like that
Ah,
that you can like either you're having trouble getting, or it's just like really hard to find, or it's just like too expensive. What's like some of those things?
sure. So my go-to on that question is always there's a Super Mario Land set of figures, and I'm learning more and more about this set. It's a set of like these little tiny figures. I could probably grab one.
Sure, yeah.
So like here's the Mario,
Oh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
and then here's like the Kuribo, the little Goomba,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and it's just a set of like little finger puppets.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, they're great. So I have the whole set except for one. Come to find out that one's like kind of the chase figure is what they call it, the secret figure.
Yep.
So there was way less of those. And yeah, that one's really hard to find. Some of the I'm still looking for the ceramic table clocks. So I've completed the cookie jar set and the ceramic bank set of the Super Mario World set of ceramic items, and I almost have all the clocks. But there's also these figural table clocks that are just like, what were they thinking? But they're great, and the sculpts are like really weird, and everyone looks really weird, and like some of those are really hard to find too, and they'd be really expensive because ceramic stuff just doesn't hold up.
Right, right. That's hilarious. You've mentioned items that I did not even know existed, but of course they do, right? Of course they exist.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the fun part. When I was back, when Yahoo Japan auctions just started, and that was like the early 2000s. Um, I was seeing items out of Japan I'd never even dreamed of because merchandising here was pretty crummy for about a decade.
You're right, right.
We had pretty sporadic stuff. 98, 99, we started to see more stuff. But as soon as the turn of the century, it was like, okay, then Nintendo got more serious about merchandising. But they had been doing it forever in Japan, especially like Bandai and Banpresto. They had been doing all kinds of stuff over there. And when I went on to Yahoo Japan Auctions, it was just a smorgasbord of stuff I hadn't seen before. And I'm like, yes, buy it all.
You're like, here we go.
Yeah. And occasionally I'll get on there and I'll see something old that I still haven't ever seen, like 20 years later after collecting for nearly 21 years now. I'll still see stuff I've never seen. It's just a joy to have that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure the feeling of like finding something you didn't know existed is just like a rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's man. Yeah. Let's. Can we take a look around? Do you want to
Yeah,
show
let me
us?
give you a slow pan.
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
So we got the World of Nintendo cabinet here.
Fantastic. What's in there?
All the rarest stuff that I have, like the completed collections and some stuff that's incomplete. But it's a good representation of it, like everything I collect. So there's a lot of different characters and stuff in there. You got Shadow of the Colossus stuff, Crash Bandicoot stuff. You got Mario Kart, Mario, Zelda, all kinds of stuff. But that's the rarest stuff that I have, I think. For the most part, I've got rare stuff everywhere, but this is
Yeah. Yeah. Would you say that you're more of a Nintendo guy? Like you have more Nintendo specific stuff?
So in my hierarchy, it's Nintendo first, Sony second, then Microsoft, and then kind of everybody else, you know. And
Interesting.
console-wise, I think I'm more of a Sega and Capcom fan, like Capcom from Mega Man and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really collect Sonic
Hmm.
because I really kind of had to pick my pony.
Yep.
And Sonic and Mario have about the same amount of stuff. Maybe not now. Mario has a lot more now, I think. But for a while there, it was the same kind of deal. So I didn't collect a whole lot of Sonic, but yeah, it's mostly Nintendo stuff in my collection. But I play everything. So
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
like something, I'll try to get something from that property. I just recently bought an Owlboy figure because Owlboy was pretty funny. I have some Celeste stuff because I love Celeste. You know, stuff like that where it's just, you know, if I like a game, Plants vs. Zombies, I'll have stuff for that. So anyway, let's continue on.
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
We got, let's see, in the corner there, you got Donkey Kong,
Oh yeah.
Pikmin stuff. And on this corner, let's see where you are. You've got all the plushes and in-card figures.
Wow. Yeah.
And then we can kind of swing around here. And you got Kirby and Mega Man.
How big is
You can
this
see
room?
You can see the amiibo wall in the background.
Oh yeah.
And then there's kind of like a statue shelf kind of deal in the middle.
Wow.
And there's a Zelda shelf in the corner. And then there's like Mario Kart and a stack of boxes. And there's me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have a question. Where's the Pokemon stuff?
Okay, Pokemon. That's another pick your pony thing. I was on the edge when Pokemon came out of whether or not it was a kid thing or like a teen, because I was like just turning like preteen, teen,
Yep.
you know, and the general feel for Pokemon was it was a kid's game back then.
Right.
And I kind of regret it because I like Pokemon now, but it's not like my favorite thing. But trying to collect that on top of all this stuff, like there's not a house big enough.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could have a room just full of Pokemon specific stuff.
Yeah, well, I've got a friend I've got a Facebook page, the Video Game Memorabilia Museum, and there's a guy on there who collects nothing but Bulbasaur, and I think he has like an entire bookcase full of just Bulbasaur. And it's like, holy cow, that's just one character. But I see, like on the blogs and stuff that cover video game merchandise, it's almost all Pokemon. There's stuff coming out every day.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Like, when all the special secret items and all the Pokemon World and Pokemon Center, and it's ridiculous, all the stuff they come out with. So it's almost more than Mickey Mouse, if you think about it.
Right, right. You're gonna have to give me the name of the guy who only collects Bulbasaur stuff. That is amazing.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Honestly, that's really all I had. I appreciate you being here and taking the time to just show us around. Where can people follow your collection? You mentioned you had a YouTube page.
Yeah, NightRam56 is my handle on YouTube, and I'll I'll put up stuff maybe. I try to do weekly, but it ends up being monthly. I've got 5 kids, so it's kind of rough to get all that around. But I try to do a bunch of videos and just show off different things. Try to get feedback on what people want to see. But I just recently upgraded my camera and everything, so I have better lighting, so people can see stuff better. Because some of my older stuff, it's like looking through pea soup. It's like, hey, look at this thing. It's like I can't see it.
Right, right.
So yeah, now it's going to be good. But yeah, you can see me there. And then on Facebook, there's a Facebook group, Video Game Memorabilia Museum. We also have a Discord there. Find a link there to that. So
Awesome. I will definitely look into that. And yeah, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I am in awe of your collection. I hope, one day you expand your room even more. So I look
that'd be
forward to
great.
that.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Okay, man.
Thanks.
Take it easy. Good luck, and I'll talk to you soon.
Sure.
All right, bye.
Bye.